Hello, everyone. We have a season 14 top 32 match here between Jacob Deaton and Tony Matthews. This is a replay stream, so let's see here. We're going to just pop the rosters out right away. There we go. And we're going to see what happened. Yesterday, this game was played yesterday. So we've got Deaton bringing Miles, Spectacular, Black Cat, Crimson Dynamo, and Moon Knight with all webbed up, Brace for Impact, Disarm, Fallback, Masked Menace versus Tony playing four wide Daredevil Defenders with Daredevil Hulk, Luke Cage, and Punisher. Recal Sacrifice, and a couple more cards coming in. Joining me on commentary today is Curtis. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, back again.
Yeah, that's right. You were supposed to play today, but your game was canceled, so you've advanced to the top 16. Congratulations.
Yeah, between the week off and my opponent forfeiting, I think this is the longest I've been in cuts, so I'll take it. It's a lot easier
Plus,
when you don't have to play.
also there was a play-in round, right? Last time you were in cuts, was there a play-in round? I don't like
Yeah, I
like
think yeah, I don't think so. I mean, this is just glorious. I'm really enjoying this time.
yeah. The I think this is but in all seriousness, like the amount of days you've been in Top Cut might actually be coming pretty close to your uh
It's
your best record yet. So that's
it's
exciting.
getting there. I was 3 weeks when I did the top eight, and I was not even a full day in the last round of cuts.
That's
So
right. I remember that.
we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, so well, hold on. When did cut start then? Cut started two like 10 days ago now. Just win. You just have to
Well,
win next
if you
game.
can, sometimes I like to count the week off and the week for play-ins just to make myself feel better.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been in cuts. This is the third week without a game, so it's good.
Right. Okay, so looks like the last cards here were Marked for Death, Heroes for Hire, and Brace for Impact. So, all right, the squads here. I'm seeing. I'm seeing that Deaton has no size 4 displacement. Researcher, yeah, we're playing Researcher, Cosmic Portals. And is this, what's the threat here? It's 4, 10,
16.
16. Yeah, 16. So we're seeing no displacement from Deaton on size 4. Right? What am I? And that's a little bit of a. I don't know. That's kind of crap, I think. Oh
Well, it
man,
it
but
may not be.
Hulk is like,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh yeah. There's no Gwen. So yeah, he's not going to be able to move Hulk. He's probably fortunate that the biggest terrain in the middle there is that size 3 building. I don't think Hulk will have access to the size 4 in the corner. So
Right.
he's going to have trouble with displacement, but he may be okay for not getting too much thrown at him. But with that said, would Deaton have had Prio here?
Yeah, actually, the roll is right there on the screen. So Deaton did win priority. He chose extracts and chose secures and got
Yeah.
researcher as the extract. Not
Ugh,
optimal. He does have last activation because he is 5 wide. So basically, I mean, I think like the play pattern, like you can see, like right now, is just like Hulk goes last on Tony's team, and then Deaton puts another character on the researcher, like to tie it kind of situation, because Hulk is almost certainly going to like displace anyone that goes on round one. So looks like Black Cat's moving to a flank here to score that. The question is, will Luke Cage basically join her to tie the point?
yeah. Well, I feel like Deaton had a two-thirds chance of being very advantaged here and got the one-third where I think Tony's got the upper hand for sure. But it also looks like Deaton brought some models that can get off a lot of attacks down the middle and, with the rapid fire and the dynamo beam. So he he may just be looking to remove some of the weaker characters and ignore Hulk and, let
Yeah,
Hulk do his thing, but just overwhelm the researcher with people on it.
yeah. I agree that the win condition here is definitely take out like Punisher and Daredevil, and and then just like win like yeah, just like win two secures every round. Sorry, yeah, two secures, and then like tie the researcher, and then yeah, and then he's therefore Tony's only getting 1 point a round, and that's how you like outscore him over 6 rounds. So let's see, yeah, let's see how that goes.
No, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, I don't play webs and Deaton has a planet, but I am surprised maybe that he didn't take Gwen here being an option to displace multiple characters and maybe pull someone out of a Hulk punch range. But it seems like he's gone with a fightier option that he can scrap a bit here and maybe take out some characters rather than just move them around.
Yeah, Deaton, of course, is a the season 11 champion, and he's made it far into multiple cuts before. I don't know off the top of my head if Tony how far Tony has gone or what it's like. I should have done my research, but yeah, so we know that. But either way, making it into the top 32 here is an accomplishment in and of itself. So yeah, I mean that's not very many players make it. I didn't make it this season. I got knocked out by Sooner, so
Yeah.
that was a bummer.
That's what I keep telling myself every time I look at my cuts performance, just making it is the real victory.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Is Tony? No, Tony is a European. Tony's many Americans winning on his. Yeah, yeah. No, the yeah, Americans have not been doing so hot lately on my streams, but it is what it is, right? So, Mike, also, I'm calling you out a little bit. I'm hoping you can stream some cuts matches this season on your YouTube channel. So hopefully you get to do that.
Right. We've got Daredevil double moving. Looks like Tony is content to try to tie the outer flanks and just let Hulk fight down the middle and let Hulk fight over that researcher. He's guaranteed to tie the researcher here now. I don't think Deaton has any interest moving Moon Knight onto the researcher just to get him thrown off.
Yeah. So Hulk last. So basically, yes, Luke Cage met Black Cat, and Daredevil has met Spectacular on the flank. So there's currently no points being scored other than their home D secures for now. Hulk and Crimson Dynamo left to go after Moon Knight finishes his turn. Looks like Moon Knight is not in a spot to be able to tie up the flank where Daredevil is. So, ooh, he's looking to. Deaton's pretty aggressive here by putting Moon Knight on the middle. I will be
Well, the
back in.
hard
I'll be
part
back in
is
1 second.
gotta go move the birds. It's always the on the Lucas stream bingo card. Yeah, I think Moon Knight has a tough decision here because you want to have options to go after Hulk and contest that middle, but Hulk's also just going to go and throw him off. So,
Okay, so Moon Knight not being on the point is a bit of a bummer. The one thing to note about the small base, medium moving characters is they have to be offset from the center point by like I don't know. It's like I'd have to do some like quick number math here, but like I just like vibe it out now that I've done the measurements and I know now. But it's like
yeah,
a medium base, medium mover, like Crimson Dynamo. Assuming if Crimson Dynamo was a medium moving character and he was dead center and there was no terrain in the way, he could hit either flank D shape where he is. So now you have to take away from that if you're using a smaller base character, and you have to offset them by like basically a maybe a medium and a medium to like a large base off of the midline in order to be able to like with the most distance hit a flank. So you can never hit both flanks with a character profile that Moon like the model profile that Moon Knight has. But looks like Dean
yeah.
didn't hedge enough, and therefore his Moon Knight is not contesting. All right, so Hulk is going
I
to sit on the researcher.
My guess is that Deaton wasn't planning on having Moon Knight go to a flank. Like Moon Knight's the type of character that I think being able to shoot into the researcher, would have been his preference. Um, it'll be interesting here if he decides to double move, or um, he could have shot at Hulk and then hopped in. But I think the way he's put his models and what he did on round one, I don't think he wants to put any damage into Hulk and give Hulk any more power or attack dice. I think he's content um, just trying to maybe win points on the flanks and keep that researcher tied with his last activation,
Yeah.
which I don't know. That's going to be a tough plan for him to win, I think, with how slow this game's going to go, but it kind of just speaks to how bad researcher is for, pure scenario teams, and I think why a lot of web players, including Deaton, advocate for taking your extracts with Prio whenever that's on the other side.
Yeah. It's quite the scenario. Researcher, my god.
But this is a lot more relevant that this is way more relevant than I expected the side flanks to be. To be honest, in a researcher
Right,
game,
right.
usually it's just everybody piling down the middle, but here we are.
I think they're generally fast enough the web warriors to like jump back in when needed. I mean, all of the like Luke Cage is like the one guy who's like most out of position here, basically like uh, from what I can see. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a matter of not wanting any of your characters to take damage. That's what like Deaton's probably thinking at this time. Is like I'm not gonna put anyone near the middle where Hulk can hit me. Yeah, I mean it all makes sense here.
Yeah, I mean, spreading out against the team that re-rolls when you're not spread out is, I don't think there's anything wrong with that plan.
Okay, he's
Um,
putting masked menace down. So this costs 1 power per camera, and anytime your team does damage, or and does damages the enemy team, you get an extra power. Regardless, like it's you could throw someone and do damage through a throw and gain a power from the cameras. They can't be within 3 of one another, and so looking to basically get. I mean, here's an example. You could beam with Dynamo and into Hulk and get 2 power per beam if you're just beaming Hulk, and then you have a bunch of power for disruption fields if needed.
yeah, I've had a few opponents play this into me, and it's really effective on Black Cat too, when, sometimes she's at a power level where she can spend her and then gain a power from the damage from the spender and have enough to either hop away or spend her someone else as well. So I think this is a really good, like it's just a really good webs card overall. It can let like Miles or Spider-Man spend or someone with 3 power and then gain a power to pick up the extract they dropped. There's just a lot that, webs can get very power starved, and I think this card really helps that.
Yeah, looks like they're rolling for the Cosmic Vaults, and Spectacular rolled a crit, so he is getting pushed
Hmm.
and gains two
A great,
power.
yeah, I think that's a great outcome for Spectacular. He gets
Yeah.
the 2 power to just web swing back in. So I think
Yeah.
that's why webs like taking this crisis.
Yes, that I see that. That makes sense. I'm sure Deaton was happy about that. No one else hitting it. Looks like I'm not seeing any other rolls. Okay, so what does Tony do here in the opening? He has um the problem is like if you go with Daredevil now, you can just get displaced by Spectacular, losing you the VP. And so I mean like you can't displace Hulk at all. Is there anything you could do to like crunch someone? Everyone has still a lot of health, so it's like you wouldn't want to go with Hulk now because you kind of want to use him to displace people off the researcher last, and maybe go for a daze on a character that has taken a few points of damage. Hmm.
Yeah, I think one thing Tony could do here is just pass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Slight
I
crit
don't.
is.
If it were me, I think Daredevil is the only model that's threatened right now, and I would be willing to move Daredevil maybe even onto the Researcher and just give Moon Knight and Spectacular a really bad activation this round.
Daredevil is rolling right now. It must be into Moon Knight, I would imagine. Looks like we're getting the reroll from Deaton through right now. So that's 3 into nothing. Moon Knight takes 3. Ooh,
Yeah, I
that's a
think this
lot.
is a great play, right? You just try to take out kind of that maybe that obvious target in Moon Knight who can be picked apart by physical attacks.
Yeah, Deaton measuring the fallback. Always good idea to check if possible on a fallback card to see if you can get out of range of a follow up. If like yeah, so it's good that he checked that, but it looks like he opted not to take it because there was no significant benefit for the card. So Moon Knight is looking like, ooh man, he is on 2 health. Ooh, that's tough. Nobility in the chat says that Moon Knight, if Moon Knight gets to activate here, Daredevil is in trouble. All right, let's
Yeah,
see.
I think if you're Tony in this situation, being able to remove one of the webs models probably almost guarantees the win. Dean would lose his ability to go last probably and win points, but yeah, now Moon Knight's going to get a chance to activate into Daredevil, and that could be problematic.
Okay, so it looks like yeah, Daredevil did a second attack and didn't do any damage. So Moon Knight survives with 3. I mean, there's also the clapback here, so you have to be careful not to like. I don't know, um, like if you don't get Daredevil in like one shot, you could just get got pretty bad. So would you like would you go into someone else? Like would you go into Hulk first or something? I don't know, like just because you're gonna. What's he doing?
Well,
Okay, what's this power 1 for Moon Knight? Oh, he rolled the
yeah,
crazy dice. Okay.
I think there might even be a point already in this game where the win condition may actually just be to kill Hulk. Like, it- I just don't know how long-term effective this Webs team is going to be at winning that point. And so maybe, you just start throwing every model's attacks into Hulk and try to stagger him with Black Cat to keep his clap back to a minimum.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a great plan, but with all webbed up and stuff on maybe round three, there's possibly a chance that you can do some damage and keep him in check with staggers and dynamo.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. The thing too that's pretty interesting is that Black Cat can do a spender now, and with Mass Menace, if she gets a damage throw on Hulk, which is like, of course, there's a decent chance because it's 6 dice, you can get a power back from Mass Menace, and therefore have enough power to do it again next round.
Yeah.
So, all right, so it looks like Moon Knight moved, and he's now just doing he's doing a builder. He did 4 dice, or it might be the rapid fire attack. All right, into into Daredevil, and he rolled nothing.
Yeah, four blanks.
No, so no rapid fire either. So that's it. He's done his turn then. If he's moved, so he moved to get away from um Hulk. It looks like,
Yeah, there
but
might have been a world where Dynamo could have been thrown into Moon Knight with where he was standing.
oh yeah, Daredevil is doing the clapback here.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Oh, and
Oh,
he just
that's
rolled
a big,
4
yeah.
and nothing for Moon Knight, so he just goes down. Yeah, yeah. Deaton in the chat saying he forgot that the
Ugh.
clapback is not damage based.
Yeah, I've been got by that more than once.
Oh, okay, gotcha. He went. It was the.
I think I had a game I was playing with Hellfire and I had my bodyguard bubble assembled, and I thought, oh, maybe I can just get a free attack into Daredevil with a Koye, and then he clapped back and had like four rerolls with where he was standing. So I haven't done that again. It was
Yeah, that's
it was not great.
I I was mixing up Bullseye's reactive parting shot and Toad's, but now I like after playing them a bit more, just whatever, actively remembering that Bullseye's does not require damage and Slippery on Toad does require damage. I've just like now that's like locked in my brain, so I won't forget.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. This is a replay. The game happened yesterday, so we're watching what happened.
I think it's a really great lesson for MCP players that like you really don't learn anything until you lose a game because you did something stupid. So
Yeah.
it's the only way to learn.
Oh yeah, I think we've all done that. I've done that a lot. I've done that more than a lot of people. Okay, so that's how I know I'm pretty good at this game.
And one day you'll learn. It'll be good.
Yeah, one day. I haven't yet, but okay. Looks like Punisher is moving up, staying on the back point, but within three of Dynamo, so he's gonna be able to get a four dice rapid fire. Dynamo could do the defensive shields, but Punisher has a guaranteed rapid fire on this attack. Joe says he
Yeah,
lost a game 4 VP swing by forgetting that Rocket had booby traps yesterday.
oh no.
Yeah. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, I had a Rhino activation where he was on one damage and attacked a Black Widow just to be able to get to the other side and keep going, and she counter struck him and killed him. Yeah, I hate this game sometimes.
Okay, let's
But
see what Daredevil. Daredevil gets nothing into Dynamo. I think did he do the rapid fire? Not. Yeah, he did the rapid fire. So no damage through on either of the attacks, and Dynamo stays at 2 power.
okay, so yeah, I have no idea what's on Punisher's card. He's got a rapid fire, a move thing, and some really cool long ranged attack.
Yeah, the long range
Is
attack
that?
is the spender. It's like pay 3 power, range 5. But of course, you got the tokens for your character's dazing, the Punisher tokens. If you're friendly characters daze or KO, you get a token. It's like Hellas tokens, where you can spend 3 of them
Oh,
to increase your dice pool. Um, but that's pretty much it. So you've got a 7 dice spender, range 5. It hits you with bleed and slow, I believe, if you get damage through, or something. And so that's the just so you can go up to 10 dice range 5 and just like snipe someone out.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
defenders are weird where they seem to have a
Stan.
lot of really good three threat or like, pretty strong three threats, but they're all just very different and none of them are like obviously the best other than maybe Luke Cage or
Right.
one I'm missing that the chat will correct me with. Um,
Yeah. Joe mentioning the spender is stun and slow. All right, but so there you go. It's either way
oh
it's
yeah.
brutal. Okay, so we have Black Cat looking at a spender into Hulk, looking for a damage and the wild. That would have been like best case scenario because she would have got the wild elusive, allowing her to do a short advance. And the damage obviously would have given her a power to be able to have 2 power next round. And
Mm.
so that would have been nice. So it didn't. Neither happened. So kind of a bummer for Black Cat. So, but at least she staggered Hulk. So Hulk isn't going to be able to do 2 7 dice builders into anyone this this round.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing about where Black Cat ended up is she will be in range if Hulk decides to throw Dynamo at her. And, train is by far the most efficient way to kill her. So, um, if I was Tony here, I would try to do as much damage with Dynamo to enemy models so I could hold on to, keep the terrain there because there's not really any risk of that terrain going away. And just use Dynamo's size 3 to do all the work for you.
Yeah.
All right, Miles, maybe thinking about a hop and punching Punisher off the point here. Yeah, yeah, I like that play. He's already activated, so I may as well try to displace him and get him off that point.
So he spent his power. So we've got the 6 dicer, and he rolls one crit and no
Ugh.
wild. So that's not optimal for Miles. He does have one more
No.
action. So let's see. He does get 2 power, even though he only did 1 damage because of Masked Menace. So he can at least he can do it again next round if that's try again next round. All right. So are we gonna see
Yeah, just
Miles get? There we go. He gets back on the point.
so it's such a tough spot for Deaton. I think he's realized that he's probably not going to win the researcher, but if he can hold Dynamo for last activation and just go stand on it, it's probably his best case here. But I think he is gonna win the point that, the bottom of our screen because he'll be able to throw Daredevil and, probably loses the top. So I could see this being another like a 2-2 round here.
Right.
Um,
The question is like, will Luke Cage rotate on to the researcher instead? Would that be better for Tony if he just double walked Luke Cage?
I think so. I think this is the time where you would do that if you're Tony.
I think he's measuring. Oh no, he's going with Hulk right now. So interesting. Yeah, there's no more displacement available for um, and he's gonna throw Dynamo out of the way maybe, and that's why he's doing this now. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I would have well, we'll see what the plan is here. He might just be looking to take advantage of Cat having no power and, get a
Could
size
be.
3 throw into her, but I think I would have just used Dynamo for this. I don't think there was a reason to get rid of that terrain.
Yeah. Okay, so either way, Kat looks like she took 2 damage here. So Hulk has one more action left because he was staggered, and let's see what he rolls. Probably just does a builder into Dynamo because I don't think he has range 2 on Cat.
Yeah, Dynamo probably spins here and
Yeah, he
can
did.
get
Yeah.
rid of a push trigger too.
Looks like he did, and we get a defender reroll. Or maybe he does have range 2 on. Who's this roll going into? It's 4 dice, so it has to be Dynamo. Yeah, okay. All right, so then looks like Dynamo takes 1 here. There it is.
Yeah, and
And
he re-rolled out of the push trigger. That makes sense. Um, Dynamo does have a decent little beam lined up now on Punisher and Hulk. It'll be
yes,
I
and
kind of like the idea of getting a shock on Hulk.
yep. It means that you can put him at 7 damage without any sort of like repercussions because he's still rolling 7 dice builders like normal.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think this is why my plan would be to go into Hulk pretty aggressively because I think you have um between shock, disarm, and staggers from Black Cat, I think you have a lot of ways to not get punished too hard by those Hulk dice, but um such a hard decision. You either have to completely ignore him or go into him with everyone.
Yeah,
That's why he's so
yeah.
hard to play against.
Yeah, and the players, the like, if someone who's been playing Hulk for a while, like, can find the line where where you don't know what option is the best, right? If they
Yeah,
can find that line, then it makes it even harder for the player playing against Hulk.
yeah, you let him take 12 damage and then bring Luke Cage over, and he doesn't take any the rest of the game.
Right,
That can
right.
happen too. But I think, yeah, it's hard. I think Deaton's a great player, and you pick your win condition and just commit to it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you try. That's all you can do some games.
Yeah, exactly.
Punisher's taken some damage here, so I think maybe Deaton's probably looking for a world where if Moon Knight is off the board, it'd be nice to have Punisher off the board too, and at least keep your numbers advantage.
Yeah. The one thing that Moon Knight has that I'm thinking about here is he's got the spender. He's gonna be able to double spender Daredevil with that Mystic attack, and that's 7 dice Mystic. I mean, it's not gonna. It probably takes both of them to get Daredevil, but you might be able to take him out just like that. At least
The
put him onto
problem
his
here
inner
is
side.
Tony still has prio though, so
Yeah.
he may decide either to get aggressive or just rotate Daredevil to be his, maybe his back point sitter. I don't know.
I think that you keep if he's taken no damage, then like the odds of him getting one rounded are pretty low. With I think and I would maybe take the risk on the Moon Knight play because you could always like
Hmm.
rotate Daredevil around later, and then you're also giving him a lot of power to do his spender if you like want to do a move action and then do the hit the spender and like push like three web warriors away. It could just be like a game winning round for to him. And I mean, he's got the power now, so it just only takes
Yeah. The other
the
thing I
right
do
setup.
look at though, like if Tony wins the researcher here and moves it towards the top of the board and then say makes a decision to double move Daredevil, you're gonna have, sixth threat of the Web Warriors just not contributing to where the game's being played. So, but yeah, I think the upside of just going and trying to kill Moon Knight is also very good.
Okay, so Luke Cage, Mass Menace Dynamo is so good. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That Dynamo got charged up fully because of those two beams that pushed through. I think maybe three instances of damage. Okay. Either way, so Luke Cage has double moved, and he threw the terrain piece. I think looks like into Black Cat, who took one damage. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we've got Spectacular to go. He is looking. He can't get there in a single move, so he's gonna have to web swing and double move probably.
Yeah, he might gamble and swing and punch someone and hope for the elusive.
Oh, that yeah,
Uh,
you could do that, but man, that's kind of double move
yeah,
throw Luke. You could do that too. Yes, that is a fair point. And that throw on Luke, if he doesn't brace, gets you power. And if he doesn't brace, you get power, and therefore you can then swing onto the point. So maybe the line is to throw Luke into something, cause a damage, and then you won't have enough. Okay, you're only getting one power, so you're not getting enough to web swing actually.
I
So
do I do like the idea though. If you're just gonna double move onto the point, you may as well double move and throw Luke into something to do damage and get another power.
yeah, and that's what he's doing here. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, it's a smart play. I like that.
let's see if he gets the damage through. Looks like he's not getting the damage through though. I think the reason he didn't go for the damage is because if you go for that coffin thing, the sarcophagus, you're also putting yourself within taunt range of Black Cat, and Black Cat can't just like stagger Hulk with her first activation. She'd have to move first,
Yeah,
and Deaton probably wanted the flexibility to choose where he wanted to put Black Cat after she probably went for the spender on Hulk. Okay, so it looks like Deaton goes down by a point here because Daredevil he opted to not try to displace Daredevil. Oh, he couldn't. He was put in a position where he had to choose to defend the
yeah, he had
researcher
to pick between
or a
Luke or
point.
yeah. Yeah, and that's gonna be the challenge here. Now Daredevil, if Daredevil can just take out Moon Knight here, yeah, that definitely puts Deaton in a tough situation. He may, I you have no reason to go with Hulk here. He may try to get a Punisher activation too, but I think you're better off letting Punisher go. He's probably in Heroes for Hire range too.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I'd be going with Daredevil here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You'd tie your activations up if you're able to get Moon Knight. Who's he? What's I'm trying to think what's happening. They're rolling their cosmic vaults right now. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Patrick's mentioning that it's today is July 4th here. So it's the it's July 4th. So I guess happy birthday to the USA. um,
Happy America Day.
yeah,
The Americans trying to beat the British again in this matchup in front of us. Very thematic.
yeah, that, that is very true. Yes.
Unless Tony's not British, sorry if
Oh
I
yeah,
offended
that's
anyone.
I'm actually about to try to find this event on Longshanks to see.
I just know he plays Liam Watt all the time, and I think Liam is from Scotland,
Right.
so
Okay. Let's see.
that's okay.
Tony is from Wales, United Kingdom. So there we go. He's in the UK.
We did it. Good work, team. Just a bunch of ignorant Canadians watching the second and third best MCP countries in the world fight it out. It's great.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's the three Canadians in the top 16, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool. The only reason we don't have a fourth right now is because Kyle, the previous season's champion, had to face off against Leaf, and so therefore one of them had to lose. The only
yeah,
reason
it's too bad.
we've got TG Lord from the Montreal side playing on Saturday afternoon, I believe. So yeah, so we're gonna see if he also makes it. That would be pretty cool. This has been hold
Yeah,
on, what season are we in? This is season 14. So every season since season 8, a Canadian player has made the finals. Is this
yeah,
the
that's pretty
season
good.
where anyone else does it, or does Canada continue the streak?
And I want to amend my statement, Lucas. I said second and third best. It should really be third and fourth since Sweden won the WTC this year. I think that would just be disrespectful you know,
Right,
not to
just
give Collar his credit if he watches this game back and gets offended. So
that's
just want
fair.
to say
That's
that.
fair. Yes, yes. Canada by far the best country for MCP. All right. So,
Yep.
I
All
don't know.
right,
I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
we've got Daredevil attacking.
This is
Does
the
Moon Knight have
opening.
stealth? Oh, he ignores stealth, doesn't he?
The range 4 attack does. The baton snare will ignore stealth. So we hit him with the builder on Moon Knight and gained 2 power. Moon Knight gained 2 power and got a stun. 2 damage, I mean. Now there's the baton snare. Daredevil rolling 3 successes into Moon Knight puts Moon Knight at 1 frickin' health. Ooh, that is not optimal.
Nope, this is not great. I think we're gonna have Moon Knight gone at some point here. Gosh, the temptation here is to go with Moon Knight for sure, but I think maybe it's better to go after Punish. I don't know if I like Moon Knight going here because I don't know if anybody else on Tony's side can actually get to Moon Knight. So
Oh, he's opting
yeah,
not.
okay,
He's not though. But he's disarm. Okay, so he's disarming Hulk. So Hulk now is
yeah,
rolling 5 dice, 4 dice attacks. So he's really just a control monster. Joe says he went to Canada recently and had poutine, and it's rubbish.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
Joe, we don't need to get into the inter-Canadian politics, but if we're being more specific, Ontario is the best Canadian meta and not Quebec, who is the home of poutine. But, I wouldn't want to cause any controversy or talk any trash publicly. That's just not in my nature.
Joe, actually, we were talking about curry previously, and I just had some chana masala. I don't know what your feelings are on that, Joe, but I found it delicious. It's chips and gravy with shit
Joe,
cheese. Okay, all right. He's getting pretty
yeah,
ruthless right.
Joe,
Joe's getting really. Oh
the English food of eating canned beans for breakfast is just really, yeah, really on his high horse here.
man.
We're not talking anyone from France in the chat. Yeah, we're talking about probably the worst food in the world.
Jeez, is Joe the type of guy that eats his beans cold from the tin?
From everything I know of Joe, that sounds exactly right.
Okay. Jeez. Moon Knight looks like he is. Okay. All right. Oh, he's the exception that proves the rule. Joe doesn't like the baked beans. All right. Um. Okay. So we
So why, Lucas, tell me why Moon Knight decided to move on to the point. I
he's
feel
going
like,
to.
how did Moon Knight get back?
What? Why did he move there? I don't understand why he didn't do anything with that. I don't know why did I don't understand.
Yeah, I think
Why he stayed? Why he didn't do any attacks or anything? He was gonna die from Daredevil clapping back on him, right? So that was like the problem that that Moon Knight had.
yeah.
But I just um
I just don't think you go with him there then. I think you gotta maybe take out Punisher's activation or something.
yeah,
Or,
yeah.
well, you could leave him on one and shocked and, maybe there's a key turn.
Um yeah.
Yeah,
Spectacular
Joe's.
could impact webbing Daredevil maybe is the thought. So what are we
Hmm.
seeing here? We're seeing Punisher. He just spent 5 power. What did he do
A
here?
spender. Maybe
He
he
did two
spendered with
spenders.
6 dice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. He must have done his. He also could have done his. Oh, I think he did his range two. He paid 2 power for the scoot, got him outside of range 3, and then did two
Mm.
spenders, and has put
Yeah.
no damage into Dynamo on either of those.
Yeah, it
So
was a cool move that just didn't pay off at all in any damage. But I
it
like that
probably
play.
should have, but gotten some through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just threw 12 dice into Dynamo and did 0 damage. So I don't know.
The
That's kind
hard
of crazy.
Yeah, I think Dynamo is like an extremely good counter into a lot of things, but defenders especially where they get their rerolls and then he undoes them and their effective ranges are usually range two. So
Right.
um yeah, I mean Dynamo is great on anything down the middle, but I think this is especially rough there.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, we
see
get the
that.
standard Punisher activation in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Good tech
When you
piece
have
for
a
the
character
matchup.
that Yeah, it's like when you have a character that doesn't do anything except shoot stuff and try to kill stuff when they don't do any damage, it just it feels really bad on their activations.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me of the Ryan Janway versus Theo match that was just streamed on my channel. It's up on YouTube now, but Ryan played Cabal, and they Cabal were not caballing. You know what I mean? they
Yeah.
so yeah.
All right. Luke Cage moving and punching to try and generate some power to maybe divert a Black Cat attack. Now Luke Cage has a stagger on him, but he just moved and attacked. So that stagger maybe should be on Hulk
Yeah,
or
I think so. That would make a lot more. Hold on, unless Heroes for Hire was played to deflect the
oh
stagger onto Luke Cage.
yeah, that's the play. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I
now
like
Hulk
that.
gets double activation, but he is disarmed still. So let's see what he does with four dice. Black Cat's now taking the
Yeah,
point up here, the top.
that's a
Was
good point. Maybe it was the time to just let Hulk get staggered when all he really has to do this turn probably is throw Dynamo into someone. Uh,
yeah, the that's right, exactly. That would be a lot of damage. Yes, Garrett, thanks for joining the chat. The game is pre-recorded. It was played yesterday. Yes, and Joe, that was in fact the game that Professor X just tanked a lot of an entire round of damage basically from
oh
the Cabal
gosh.
side. Okay.
Oh no, so sad to see Cabal leave the cuts. Devastating. All right, moving on.
Yeah, yeah. How many more Thanoses left? It's definitely going to be a
Oh,
scenario. A scenario team is going to win this one this season. I'm
I don't even know. I've played so many Webs games that I'm just assuming I have to play four Web Warriors teams to make it to the finals.
Yeah, interesting.
A lot of people like webs. I think webs are like the best thing in the game that doesn't feel like they're abusing anything and gets on their moral high horse because they run like 4 or 5 affiliated models every game.
Yeah, I mean the extract steel stuff is like is like the abuse. I think it's I don't know.
Yeah, but they're
It's
not. It's not like Rhino or Voodoo where they're not actions. It's very fair. They can't get early tempo and do it. It's all very fair, Lucas. It's very fair. Webs are very fair. Don't talk them down.
Joe saying he teched for webs and drew the opposite of webs. That was X Force, and he got the 1 out of 18 of the scenario crisis that he thought was bad for like the worst case scenario, which is the 1 in 18.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
that's rough.
That is horrible. Yeah, yeah, that's right. All right, so Daredevil is now doing his advanced trigger off the damage or off of the attack that spectacular the impact webbing. So the impact webbing basically getting hard countered by Daredevil that as long as he has 2 power.
Yeah.
This is now Spectacular is going to just be taking an out of activation attack here, I believe, and a reroll 2 because Moon Knight's right there. So this is tough. Let's see. Daredevil could just blow everything up.
Does he
Um,
have to attack? Is that a
I can't pull up the card, but I don't think you would have to. You it probably says may make an attack if I had to
yeah,
guess.
it's probably not a bad idea with two rerolls here, but giving spectacular power just to throw Daredevil off the points maybe a bit awkward, but it puts a stun on him, which is very good. Yeah, Deaton smashes the 3 power to do the throw. Um, it's gonna let him win that point this round, which might be big for scoring. If he can somehow squeak a tie on the researcher and then win the two side flanks, I think that puts him maybe back in the lead and gives him a bit of hope here.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see what Hulk does. We've got Hulk and Luke Cage to go. Luke Cage staggered, and we've got Miles and Dynamo to go. So if if Hulk is able to shut down the Crimson Dynamo activation by like dazing him or something, Luke Cage gets to go last to win the Researcher. I would imagine, unless Miles could like get.
Yeah.
It would be I don't know. There's a lot going on here. All right, so Dynamo is paying for Disruption Field. We're getting 5 dice Luke Cage. Probably Luke Cage going into Dynamo then.
Yeah, I think the defender's plan here has to just be to chip Dynamo down and then eventually, get that daze off of like a throw or something on a key turn. I mean, but he has so much power from Mass Menace to just disruption field everything, so it's going to be awkward to get damage through and triggers, but yeah, so I don't think Luke did anything there. But Luke is also exactly where he wants to be, I think, so probably
Yeah.
not the worst thing.
Okay.
Um,
Looks like
yeah, so
Miles
looking
is
at
going for
Miles,
Daredevil. The Daredevil flip.
I don't mind that. I mean, if he's going to win a back point, it's not like he can punch Luke Cage here and throw him that way, so he might have to swing and I guess you could attack Luke and try to throw him off the middle point and then move somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
If you get this, you're tying the. If you okay, so he is going into Luke Cage here to
yeah,
displace
I
him.
think that's I think that's a good I think that's a really good play. I think you have to keep trying to keep that researcher tied, but yeah, he's okay. Tony's gonna
Sacking it.
sacrifice it into Hulk. That's smart.
Yeah, that was a good. That was good to avoid the displacement, meaning that Tony is going to win the researcher here.
Yeah, and you're also maybe giving Hulk some more dice.
There it
I guess
goes.
he's just under the threshold, but yeah, I don't I think that was a clever use of sacrifice there.
Yes.
Hulk is still rolling, I think only 5 dice here because he's got a shock and disarmed, but
Yes.
Tony's gonna win the researcher here now. So I think with where Miles goes, that makes this a tied tied round 2-2, I think,
I mean,
if
you can
Miles
just
goes there.
well, you just displace Dynamo and put Hulk on the other point maybe, and then you just bring the researcher closer to Hulk. Like you just start trying
Oh,
to
that's
dunk it,
yeah.
and that way you're winning. You're winning your 3-2.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you just get rid of Dynamo and put Hulk on Deaton's back point there, and yeah, just move it towards Hulk and call it a day. Well,
Okay,
I guess
he's
you
look
can't take
he's
Hulk off the researcher though, because if Hulk goes off the researcher, Dynamo can still
Oh, I
move
forgot
back
Deaton
onto it.
goes last. I forgot Deaton goes last. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he's moving to
Hmm.
within range 2 of Miles and Dynamo, looking to displace Miles, so that gets him his VP back. And he,
Yeah, that's smart.
yeah,
Maybe I think you just shake the shock here or some. Oh, he's gonna spender. Yeah, I guess you're just gonna get the shock put back on you anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter.
okay. He's looking for a triple wild here to get the guaranteed stagger and throw on Dynamo. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
nothing
only
wrong
rolling.
with
He's
just
only rolling 6 dice though, actually. So this is not. Should have
yeah.
spender before throwing the before. The, yeah, you're right. Nobility is making good comment that if you're gonna attack Dynamo, you might as well have gotten the extra Miles reroll with the defender's leadership, but he didn't get it. He's not getting it. Okay, but he rolled really well. So
Still got a good roll. I think he might. Oh, he okay. Dynamo. Yeah, this is the Web's Dynamo. You know, he rerolls another success and then forces the rerolls out of successes, and you go from like 4 damage to 1 damage.
wow, that's a lot. There you go. No,
Yeah,
Dynamo taking only one there and no triggers.
two, 2 damage and no throw and no stagger. That's a Dynamo. Um, I mean, I with Hulk on 7 damage here and with this board state, I am just getting absolutely greedy and trying to murder Hulk at this point.
Yep. So here it
And
looks
I
like
think,
that's what's happening.
yeah, I think that's the right call. Yeah,
Okay.
so I wonder who that was into Hulk. So Hulk goes to 8, and then Punisher next.
Ooh, Punisher blocks it and already shocked, so no damage there. But he's gonna basically do it again.
Yeah,
He gets
gets
the
another
power.
chance.
Yeah.
You know, with Heroes for Hire gone, like round the next round, maybe a good all webbed up on Hulk or something. Let some big dice go into him, and you just see what happens.
Yeah. Miles might be in range 3 of both Hulk and Punisher. Punisher goes down here. Looks like Hulk doesn't take any additional damage. He must have whiffed on that next roll. Yeah, that's looks like that's what happened. Okay, so and there we go. Punisher dazed. So we're gonna flip to the next round. 5-4 for Tony. So they both so the scoring went like Webb scoring 2 secures and Tony just scoring the researcher because Punisher was dazed at the end.
Oh, Sweepy's criticizing me in the chat for not using the Johnny Pastrami language for all webbed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We mentioned this on the last cast, right? You casted with me for Johnny's game, and Johnny was
yeah,
able to squirt all of his juice, and that's how that went.
I think to be fair, it was Gwen and not Johnny, but
That's a good distinction. Thank you. Appreciate that.
just want to clear that up. Don't want to violate any Twitch guidelines here. Or,
Okay. All right. So now
uh,
okay, so now we're seeing a Tony is going to activate first. I mean, are you taking out Moon Knight here? That seems
oh
like
yeah, yeah. Just get rid of Moon Knight. I don't see why not.
we're going the cosmic. Okay, so the cosmic bolts are being rolled. Punisher gets the
Yeah,
push here. Okay.
yeah. Like if Daredevil doesn't take out Moon Knight here, he's at risk maybe of getting I don't know. Yeah, I just there's no point leaving Moon Knight. I don't know if there's much else to do that's productive other than maybe trying to take out Dynamo, but you don't really want to activate Hulk at all. So
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Spectacular getting pushed again, but he gets 2 power. He's stunned, so he actually only got 1 there, which is which is kind of That's lame for spectacular. But
So
yes,
annoying.
yes.
Yeah.
So Curtis, the new Asgards, do any of the models in particular stick out to you as being good? What do you think?
Those are some good looking models. Lady Sif is gonna just destroy everyone. She's so cool. She's going straight in the Hellfire Thanos list. Oh boy, I'm ready.
Hmm.
Sif
So
Sif Zemo Emma Thanos at 19. Just inject that into my bones. This is gonna be great.
yeah,
Um,
why?
I think new
Why?
Thor.
What's wrong? What's so
Oh,
good about her in Hellfire?
well, I think just the way her power works, like every round two, she's gonna have a charge and Master Swordsman online, and if you can Death Decree that right away and do all that fun stuff, yeah, I think she's gonna be very good. And in Hellfire, like having damage reduction and stuff too, and all that ability to convert power to damage, it's just like everything I look for in a Hellfire model. So she's probably going to take Logan's spot over almost immediately on August 2nd.
It's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool that like you that's the characters there. I think that the characters are all very cool. I'm like gonna basically just like parrot whatever people have said online, but yeah, they basically I've heard positive things about all of the characters, um, but I guess different levels of positivity. I think Jane is like the one I've heard the least amount about, or people are they're not as excited for her. But Thor looks like an absolute monster. He reminds me of frickin' Malekith, just a threat less and no stun
Yeah,
immunity. That's pretty much
if
it.
you're not if you're not playing Asgard immediately, I'm super disappointed. Like that model
Me?
just looks like yeah, like that model is six threat Malekith. Like
Yes.
you need to just start playing Asgard. He looks ridiculous.
It's
People are
crazy.
people who are saying he's not crazy, like I'm willing to be wrong, but man, like that that model is going to be doing so much damage every turn.
Yeah, yeah,
And
dude.
like,
The chart now it's like
oh,
he doesn't have the Malekith charge, but he's got a fuck pounce. He's got the
his size
pounce.
3 pounds. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it is. It is. So it's better than the charge in a lot of ways. The charge also used to has ferocity on, like has the throw on it, but it's
Yeah.
only size 3, so it's like the same amount of damage output, but now you can direct that damage into the model that you're attacking, right? Whereas the ferocity was like you'd ping them for 1 because of the damage trigger, or like the throw trigger.
Yeah. And
So,
then you can also build her twice and throw a size 4 piece of
and
terrain
the
at
builder
somebody.
electrocutes everyone else. It's crazy. And then you've got the 10, of course you got the, it wouldn't be a Malekith copy unless you had the 10 dice, 4 power cost, place within 1, isn't it doesn't have a place within 1 on it, and spender,
Yeah.
and then also it also has a size 4 character throw on it, right? I think after the attack is resolved, I remember.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. And then
holy moly, that's
it,
pretty
it's
sick.
yeah. It's like his ferocity, right? Like it's I don't know. I think he's going to be insane. And then, if he leaves someone on one, they can't really attack him back without getting counterattacked and dying. So,
Yeah.
um,
He
I
looks
think,
sick.
yeah, I think Daredevil went into Moon Knight and killed him.
Right.
Got that job done. And now Black Cat staggered Hulk. So now it is a webs activation. No, a defender's activation.
Yes, defenders to go here. Okay.
So
Punish.
defenders can't pass. So who do you go with here?
I think that Hulk doesn't feel like he's in danger, in like it has the immediate urgency. So you could, you if you're outside of 3 of Dynamo, you might be. I don't know. I'm Dayton might have pushed him into range 3, but you could consider double spendering with Punisher again in a Dynamo. You only need to do 3 damage.
Yeah,
Um,
so you double spender here, walk spender here.
he's got marked for death, so we can also. That I think that's what the range 5 off of Miles was. Is that he can't hit Miles because of stealth, but if you marked for death him, he would be able to. So,
Right.
um, yes. So it looks
Yeah.
like.
I
That's
think this is probably a decent time to just take my take Dynamo out here. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna spend her Dynamo. I like that play. It's really solid.
okay.
I think anytime you have a chance to attack Dynamo outside of three, I'm almost always taking it.
Joe says if if you leave someone on 5, you can't, that character that has 5 health left can't attack Thor, or else he'll die. They'll die.
Yeah.
It'll feel like that. It'll.
Well,
All right.
speaking of death, Dynamo just or Punisher just destroyed Dynamo with that
Oh
roll.
wow, that is brutal.
Um, yeah, so now he's going to. I guess he's considering he either moves back to the back point or he can maybe get somewhere else with a move and then his little short thing. Or he moves short and then tries to punch someone range three. Could just overload the researcher. Yeah, lots of options here.
Yeah,
Probably no bad ones at this point.
just looking to scoot and shoot maybe, but yeah, there's no real targets. So I mean, yeah,
I think the fact that he's injured here, I probably wouldn't go to the researcher. I think there's no point.
right.
That back point seems right. Yeah, and that's where he's going.
Getting cover on the
I mean,
terrain.
yeah, like if Miles starts going after him, you're just gonna win the researcher and push it towards Deaton's side. So, like with Dynamo Days now, I think Hulk is gonna get to activate last. So, like Tony definitely wins the researcher here, and I don't know. Deaton's gonna have to have a pretty special all webbed up turn with Prio to turn this momentum now.
Yeah, the like is Miles within 3 of Hulk? Did we see that measurement? I don't know if we saw it, but like,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, that's like the maybe that's like one of the very few outs is like Miles, well, webbed up now, and then like hitting Hulk, and then
Yeah, just you just have to demolish him. Like I don't think there's any other. At least if you put a lot of damage into him, maybe you force Hulk to also go first, and he's like make him activate early.
yeah,
Um, yeah, Deaton was saying earlier in the chat that I think he expected Strange and Ghost Rider in this matchup and not a Hulk. So I think that was the main reason why we're not seeing Gwen here.
yeah. So it's yeah,
Um,
it's tough. It's tough when you bring the wrong tools for the matchup. It's
yeah,
it's like mentally it's tough too. It's like God, I just like you feel like you're. I mean, when you know you're playing from behind, it's funny because like, but good players realize it earlier than players that are newer to the game or like less experienced. And so it's like
yeah,
like the effect that it can have mentally on you is like it could it's just like as you get better at the game, you could just be like having a harder time mentally throughout a longer period of time in the game when you've realized early on that the match is you're like you're already behind.
yeah. Just tilted the entire time. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, so he's spending down to to get this point, throwing Daredevil. Yeah,
Yeah. Dean's saying what I've also said the same type of thing too, where it's like if you're playing from behind, you basically have to find the single play that works or else you lose the game. And I feel like that's just like way easier to do. Um like it's way easier to find the best move when you're in situations where it is the only move than if you're winning the game, there's multiple things you can do. Basically that means there's like multiple rakes you can step on, but you don't see
yeah,
them and until you've made the mistake. But when you're playing from behind, it's like it's like you have one chance. You'll if you're patient enough and you will think about your situation. Given enough time, you will find it. Even if it does, maybe it doesn't win you the game, but it's probably maybe it's the best move in the situation. So
yeah. You start having to take very low percentage risks that like there's no point doing a high percentage play that still loses you the game.
yes,
Like there's no it literally does not matter if you lose by 2 points or by 10 points. So you just have to make the plays that have a chance of winning. And, um, you know, even if 10% of the time you win games that you shouldn't, like that's the difference between, going 3-3 or 4-2 in tournaments or, winning games that you shouldn't and pulling it off. So,
Yeah, that's right. I think it's Ryan Farmer from Strike Better who basically said something like that, or someone, I think someone from that cast basically said like to win an event you usually have to steal a game. I'm not sure.
yeah.
I don't remember exactly who said that at first, but yeah, you have to feel like you stole a game from someone to win a big event in a lot of cases. So yeah, so yeah, that's the game we play. Right, play a game with a lot of luck based elements. So
Yeah, so Deaton is saying in the chat that he viewed the win condition right now as try to keep the score close or even and then
round
have an all
six,
webbed
yeah,
up turn and win by one. Yeah. Yeah, I mean if Miles can take out Punisher here and get that model count lead again, then that opens up some maybe a higher chance of Deaton winning this.
yeah, that's right. Looks like we're seeing 2 damage thrown Punisher with a crit coming in puts it at 3 more damage. So Punisher living on one.
Yeah,
No, that's
so close.
yep, not enough right there.
Well, he's probably set up here for next round.
Yep,
But yeah, now Hulk gets to kind of decide what he wants to do. So some version of throw Miles so he wins Punisher's point and uh like I'd be tempted to throw Miles and not punch him at all just to like take away Miles having a web swing.
that's a good call. So Tony's looking at a move and then displace on spectacular. So something so
Move
similar
throw
enough
move.
play. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
similar enough play. He's gonna bring Hulk back onto the researcher though to win it and
Yeah.
get a and he'll go. What will he do? He'll win. He'll win 2-1 in that situation because spectacular. If one of them will be off the point.
I
Yeah,
think it's a cool example into webs where like this is a situation with Miles where if you can throw Miles and have him on one power the next turn, um, Miles goes from being able to swing and throw a six dice and a four dice attack to just being able to move and throw four. So, sometimes those decisions over the course of the game, like everyone talks about dice in MCP, but if you can constantly make your opponents only roll four dice instead of 10, like that's a good way to avoid lots of damage and dice spikes and stuff.
oh yeah, that's true. It looks like Hulk did go into Miles, but Miles was a champ and blocked it all.
Yeah, all
So
right.
now he's getting pushed on top of. He's getting pushed now with
Yeah.
no damage. So it's like, it's um man, wouldn't so shouldn't Dean maybe Dean should have like done the spider senses to roll out of taking nothing and taking 1 damage, but he's staggered, which is brutal too. So now Miles is
Yeah.
absolutely doing nothing. Unfortunately, that is
Yeah. So now
really
he's still in
tough.
the position where he's only throwing four dice.
He's
So,
doing nothing now.
different.
I mean, yeah, I guess 4 dice,
uh,
but no movement. So he's just stuck there with no VP gain if he does any dice throwing. So yeah, that stagger is brutal on Miles there.
Yeah, so this 8-4 now is pretty tough. Especially being in round five, like you got to make that up in 2 rounds and putting putting 11 into Hulk here. I mean, it's not unreasonable, but I don't know if Deaton's models are in a position where he can really even like he doesn't even have anyone that can really get in there and play all webbed up right now.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to spike with Dynamo. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's all he's
So
got.
you spike with Dynamo, maybe you try to take out Punisher, put some damage into Hulk, and you're just playing for the last round, I guess.
Yeah, score 4. I mean, yeah, Daredevil. Hmm. Like you could spike with Spectacular into Daredevil, get him, displace Luke Cage, like that, like as like a last act. Okay, so we're getting a push. Okay, so Spectacular got the crit on the roll, gaining 1 power again. Man, that's pretty
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so it's not you're not getting enough power to web swing back on the points at an efficient rate because you're only gaining 1 for the displacement. Okay, anyone else rolling here, moving? It looks like Punisher's moving. So definitely getting a beam now, no cover.
Yeah, that's I think we have to see Punisher going down here.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Do you? Yeah. Okay. The beam. You still do the beam into both of them. Yeah. There's no need to spend her because it's physical. Okay. Hulk takes 1 damage. Okay. So now it's mathematically possible to get Hulk on the next beam, but
So you're
I've
saying there's a chance.
I've never seen it. Okay. The
This is the spot where Dynamo, I think, sometimes can struggle where, he's very good at doing some damage to a lot of things, but when you need to put 10 into a Hulk and you only have two 5 dice attacks to do it, it's not what he does best.
Ooh, Punisher just played Recal only to die. I think that Recal was like pretty greedy. Like the fact that he had 1 health left and you just recalled that.
Yeah,
I think
I
you would
think
have saved it for you save it for like Hulk. I think in that case.
yeah, you're at a point in the game where all you have to do is save it for the one spike that does 100 into Hulk that you can just redo. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think, it is what it is. But the awkward thing here is that even if you save Punisher, I don't think Punisher is the one you want to activate here. Like I think you want to have maybe Daredevil try to take out Spectacular.
yeah,
Um, because if there is a certain amount of points that Tony could get here where Deaton just can't win it in round 6.
yeah. That's right. The would. I mean, there's only 6 points on the board, and and Deaton has. I mean, he can't put Dynamo on a secure at this point. So let's like. I
Yeah.
mean, if you score, there's only 6 points on the board. So if Tony goes up by 3 points here, then he win. Then no matter what, the game is over.
Yeah. So
So
actually interesting play here. So Hulk knowing he can't be displaced is gonna go before he can get staggered. Um yeah, and how much
oh,
oh interesting. Yeah.
he was
I
just
don't
out
I
on that Black Cat throw.
I think this feels like maybe it should have been a Daredevil activation, but I don't mind the idea of Hulk not being staggered. So
Hulk did take 4 from that last Crimson Dynamo attack, so that's why he went with Hulk now, just to get him outside of
yeah,
range of Miles hitting him or anything like that. Okay, so Hulk, and you get the extra dice from the damage now, so he's sort of amped up. He rolls 6 successes into Deaton rolling 2, so Dynamo taking 3 damage. It looks like disruption field online maybe. So let's see if that converts. There they go.
yeah,
So do they convert? They one does 6 into 2 is 4 minus 1 take 3.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I
he's
mean Hulk's
half.
rolling.
Here it
Ugh.
goes again, same thing. So he's rolling another. We had to rolling. He's rolling 3 minus 1, so he's rolling +2. So 9 dice builders.
Yeah, this is when Hull gets scary. Um,
I'm surprised he didn't spend her there, but
Deaton does have the infamous Black Cat hop 2 and throw a bunch of Pierce attacks into Hulk.
mm,
Maybe we see that line.
yeah, that could happen. I mean, that could happen. I guess. You.
It's a lot scarier with all webbed up, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you don't have the card available.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dynamo displaced off the point. He was injured anyway, so that wouldn't have impacted scoring too much unless. Okay, so now we're
Mm.
seeing a spectacular go into Luke Cage here. It looks like that's why I saw the tab rolls on. I
Yeah, he
don't.
probably doesn't want to get counterattacked and killed here,
Yeah,
maybe.
he rolled four dice, so an impact webbing into Luke Cage. Oh, hold on. He didn't. He's not doing the wild. Oh, he's. Oh, okay. So he chose not to displace Luke,
Oh,
instead throwing him into Daredevil, forcing the brace on Daredevil and Luke Cage. Or
yeah,
did,
may as well.
now he's going into Daredevil here. He's gonna go for the daze. He needs to get a good die roll here, and let's see what he gets. He does not get anything good. Daredevil blocks it, and now Daredevil might clap back. Probably claps back. There it is.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. I think he's already spent the power for the throw. I mean, you might give him a web swing, but Daredevil's activation, he's just going to take out Spectacular anyway.
Yeah, so let's see if he just does it right now and doesn't have to even activate on him.
Yeah,
His
or
Daredevil's been. Oh nope. Okay, so no damage.
I mean, and if you leave Spectacular on 1, 2 or something and not on the point, like it doesn't matter. You're already winning the point, so he may even just leave him alone and maybe there's a Daredevil double move to Deaton's back point or something. Who knows? At
Yeah,
this point, you just might be able to score the game out, and Spectacular's not scoring anything, so sometimes there's just no point going after activated models that aren't contributing.
okay.
All right,
So
so
it's Tony's turn to go.
yeah, Deaton gets to activate last year, but Deaton's Miles is not doing anything. Black Cat's the only model that can do anything right now, I think.
Yeah, the you're
It's
gonna you're
interesting. I
gonna
think,
move both Black Cat and Miles onto the researcher and Black Cat onto like the cosmic portal, and then like put one more attack into Hulk between the two of them.
yeah.
Oh, Mark for Death is gonna stop Miles. It's gonna stop Miles from being able to get onto the point because he. Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
like
like that.
that's just really bad for
Yeah,
because
that
now
was a
he can't
cool.
now he
That's a
can't
cool play.
stop the researcher with Miles. So Black Cat, here we go. Black Cat's gonna do a four dice pierce into Hulk.
Yeah, she's just got it. Like at this point, you're low odds, but like you just have to. There's no other choice here. You got to kill Hulk, I think.
Okay, so will you push one through and a bleed onto Hulk? And
Yeah,
that's
it's not bad. It's where you
yeah,
you know you try to live the dream of like doing 3 damage and then playing all webbed up or something and then doing it again.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Does he go for it again? If he's throwing it again, like he's just YOLOing it. Yeah, so he did. So
Yeah,
he's probably at this point admitted like or has stated that like the game is over unless this works.
yeah.
Okay. So and it didn't work. So I think that I would not be surprised for I guess they'll pull out the looks like they're playing out the round, but like at this point I think it's mathematically over. Miles is staggered, so he can't do anything.
Yeah. I think all you can do is maybe move on to the back point and see if
Yeah,
that just
that's really
mathematically
it.
puts
That's
him
really
in
it.
the game.
But that dude, it just does. It just doesn't. That's the unfortunate
No,
part.
it's just yeah,
It's that a Hulk is scoring three, and Miles can't do anything about that. and then Luke Cage and Daredevil are scoring one more for it's 12-5 basically, right? So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
you
way
just
you
lose
can
the
get
game
back
to
in
them.
this. The game is now over. So yeah, I guess I'm sure that they both players know that at this point.
Mhm. Yeah, okay, just I'm just gonna get over there.
Okay, so all right, I'm sure this game is wrapping up pretty soon. The Tomorrow I'm streaming a game at around 9 o'clock. It's the Montreal Shark Tank versus Pork Roll Protocol game. There are 3 games left in the series, and so yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. And then I've got a game on Saturday afternoon, part of the same series. And yeah, and so that's what I've got going on soon. I'm gonna try to stream another one or two more games from the top 32 at the same time happening on on Saturday. There's a couple of games one in the morning and one in the evening on Saturday that I'm gonna see if I can stream. But so I mean, what is that? That's like 4 games in the next 3 days. Okay.
Oh gosh. This is like the crazy week where there's like what, 16 cuts games.
Yes.
Uh,
16. And
You
this is
just
what is
couldn't.
this? This is I did I've streamed 4 now. Is this 4 or 5? I've lost count already. So
Yeah. Well, when you don't have to play 10 games against your opponent's list, you have a lot of time to stream them instead, right?
that's yeah, sure, yeah. It's funny because like that's what people are like saying, but like, dude, I just like I just played games against myself. Like, I mean, I played like round one against myself like 10 times, right? Or like whatever. No, I wouldn't even say that. I would say like one time with a million takebacks. That's what I did for. I did that for each crisis combination, and then I wrote down what I did. and
Oh,
then
I
and then,
assumed it was against yourself.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ashley
I'm
doesn't
saying that.
strike me as someone that wanted to join you in your TTS prep.
It's funny. So was is that a game? That's not a game. So it's funny that people think I play a lot of games, dude. I just like think about the game a lot, I guess is what I would say. All right, so it looks like they've what are you doing, Curtis, to prepare for your matches? Are you just like thinking about them, and then are
I,
you setting anything up?
no, I look and I see that I'm playing Web Warriors, and then I go, oh, I've done nothing but play these same 5 models across the table from me like every game in the last month. So it's,
Right. You already feel good about it. Yeah. That makes sense. I
I don't know.
wonder I wonder who the I wonder who's gonna make it into like the top 4 or so. Someone like a dark horse kind of situation. And I want to know how much grinding they did to get there, or if it's just they have enough. Like, what got them there? Was it grinding? Was it experience with the list? Just playing it for a long period of time? It'll be interesting to see who makes it into like the semifinals, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. It's I'm finding personally with how my Hellfire list is, I feel like I kind of know what the different tools are and I don't deviate too much from the core plan. It's pretty set out. So, but I can see some lists, having that prep time and really debating between what you're going to do gets really valuable and trying to think about some of the things your opponent's going to try to bring and do and what you might have to counter that. But I think I prefer, thinking through those things versus having open rosters where you try to big brain what you're bringing sometimes. But it's,
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. Well, anyway, we're gonna wrap up this stream. So thank you, Curtis, for joining. And yeah, so tune in to the next streams tomorrow and the day after that. So I'll catch you guys later. See you later, Curtis.
All right.
All right, that's it for this one. Congratulations to Tony for making it into the top 16 of season 14, and congrats to Dean for making it into the cut. And yeah, so there we go. We have the game over. So we'll see you guys on the next one.